This is Zero Work Studios. In this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to design this flyer you're seeing right here. So we're going to be using Corel Draw. However, regardless of whatever application you use, either Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, or whatsoever, or application you use, you can follow this same step and achieve something very nice for yourself, right? So let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is to launch our Corel Draw application. So this is my workspace. So because it's a flyer, we are going to resize the workspace to A5. It's currently on A4. You can see it here. So click on here and change it to A5. Now it's on A5. So the next thing we are going to do is to create a box into this workspace. We are going to resize this box to fit into the workspace. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to copy the sizes. You can see here, copy the dimensions, right? Click on the box, come here back, paste it, you press enter, you click outside, then copy the height, then click on the rectangular box, then paste it here to get the exact size of the page. Now that we have the box, we are going to import all the um, all the materials, images, text we're going to use for this tutorial. We're going to copy it in here. Now let's go. You import, you right click and come to import. Then you locate where those things are. Don't worry, I'm going to be uh, putting the link to download all these materials in the description below. So you highlight all of them. You highlight all of them and import. We're going to be using all of these, all of these in this tutorial, all of them in this tutorial, right? So let's go back to the text to go get the text I will be using. Mountain movers. Okay, this is the text that we're going to be using in this. Let's open it down. Now the next thing we're going to do is to bring in this background. First of all, we bring in this background, you blow it, right? You blow it up. You blow it up, let it fit into the page, right? So after you blow it up, you now come to bitmap, convert it to bitmap, right? You now come to effect, go to blur and use Gaussian blur. Then you take it down, 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 down. Take it down, down, down. That's it. You now press OK, right? You see the blend that we have now. So you're going to cut it and then you bring it into the box by right clicking and coming to frame type. I said create empty power clip. Then you paste it inside, right? And you finish. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in the next background, which is this guy right here. Bring it inside, increase it very well, increase it like this, right? Increase it like this. So the next thing we are going to apply on this background right now is another Gaussian blur. You come to effect, then you come to blur and you say Gaussian blur. So this one we are not going to be applying too much effect on it. You just come to around 14, 13, okay, let's say like 10, Okay, let's leave it at this 9.8, or let's say 10.2. So you leave it like this, right? So we also power click it inside, right click on it, right, and say power click inside the container. Now we have it like this. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring another box like this, and apply this blue background on it, right? Apply this very blue background on it, and then you blend it also. You blend it also into the, so you can see the effects that we are creating because of the blue background that we have, you know, or at the back of the layer. You can see that we are having a very nice blend here. So that's the essence, right? So we're going to also power click this. We're going to also power click this inside. Also power click this inside. So the next thing we're going to do right now is we're going to bring in this next background. We're going to bring in this next background, and blow it also into the frame. You can see it. So you are going to blend the bottom part by coming to your transparency tool, and then you blend the bottom part. You apply it like this, exactly like this, so that it will blend into the background. You can see it. After that, you're going to bitmap this, and using grayscale, you come to bitmap, you say convert to bitmap, and say convert to grayscale. You can see here grayscale, then okay. You can see what we have now, right? So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to come to our transparency tool, and you come to this normal, you click on it and change it to uh, let's use overlay. Okay, you change it to overlay. You see the effect we are having right now. You see what we are having. You also power click this inside the container. Now we have a very nice background like this. Let's increase it a little bit. Increase it a little bit. We have a very nice background like this. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in our logo. To bring in our logo into this place. You can see where we have our logo, right? So, and also we are going to bring in our text. We're going to bring in our text. Let's put this aside so that we can put our text to this side. All the text we're going to be using in this tutorial, we'll put them at this side. Let's go bring the text. Now, here we have the text. Can now copy the text and paste it here. You come to your text tool, then paste your text inside. Paste your text inside. Now we have the text. So the next thing we're going to do is to start copying the text and start using them on the design. So if you follow me to this stage, please click on the subscribe button and let's build this community together. The next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in to start using the text to create our design. So first of all, bring this present. First of all, bring in this present, right? Then we stretch it by coming to our pick tool and stretch it like this. Present, right? Then we are going to come here to bring in this praise unusual 2.0. So because of the kind of design we want to do, we are going to break all of this apart. You are going to break it apart by pressing Ctrl A on our keyboard. You can see that everything is now separated. Everything is now separated. Then you increase it. This unusual, you change the U to small letter U. Then we're going to adjust this like this, right? I'm going to adjust this like this, bring it this 2.0 to the side, and we're going to adjust this like this. So we are going to change the font. The font we are going to be using in this tutorial is called SQL Sans. SQL Sans. We're going to search for it. SQL Sans. Let's see SQL Sans black. Let's see bold. Okay, SQL Sans bold. Let's check SQL Sans bold held. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to now increase the font size of the AIS inside. It's currently in 74. We can change it to like 80, 85. Just this, the AIS inside. You can see what we're having here. Let's change it to like 87, to like 80 or 90, and see how what it gives us. Okay, we can change it to like 90. Let's leave it like this. Now that we have this, we can now position our usual very well. Let's increase it a little. Let's increase it a little. Bring it up a little. Right. Now you see what we are having. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in a circle and draw it like this, and then put it here. Let it be between this L and and uh, and E. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to apply a little effect here by clicking on the circle, then clicking on the usual and say trim. Then we are going to do the same thing for E and trimming it. You can see what we have. Then we now reduce the circle a little, then and give it like a red color. For now, let's give it a red color. Then we are going to bring the 2.0 that we have outside. Let's change the color to like SQL Sans bold, right? SQL Sans bold, and then reduce it, and put it into the circle that we have here. Let's put it into the circle that we have here. Let's put it into the circle that we have here. I see 2.0. That's unusual praise 2.0. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring in this guy right here. But before we put it, let's apply color into our praise unusual. So we are going to come here, click on the praise. First of all, click on the praise. Then come to our interactive fill tool and apply it on it like this. Like this. Right? We apply it like this. So we are going to be changing the color. We change this color by the right hand side to yellow, right? And we change this one by the left hand side by clicking on them. You come here and change the color to red. You can see what we have right now. You can adjust it here to give it the kind of blend that you want. You see what we have here. So we are going to do the same thing for unusual by coming here and coming to our interactive field to apply it the same way we apply it on praise, right? You come here, change the color to yellow, come here and change the color to red. You can see what we have right now. So you can see now that this blend is not looking really nice. So what we are going to do right now is we use another color that complements this red and yellow that we have on unusual, so that everything looks perfectly fitted together. So what we're going to do now, we're going to be changing this color on unusual by coming to our interactive tool. So instead of red here, let us use like white, and instead of yellow here, let us use like a lighter shade of gray, right? You can see how it's blending together. You can see what we're having. Okay, we can use this. Let's see. Okay, we can use this lighter shade of gray. Now you see what we have right now. How it's perfectly fitting together. So the next thing we are going to do right now, let's see if we can play with this by bringing this here. Let's reduce it very well, and then we're going to push in. Let's rotate it a little bit because it's praise. We have to put an instrument of praise, you know, I'm bringing it to here. I'm bringing it to here. Let it show a little bit. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to click on our text and apply shadow effect so that everything pops up. So we are going to do that by coming to shadow 2, then apply it on the text like this. And apply it on the text like this. You can see what we have here. So after applying it, we are going to come to this shadow opacity and increase it to 100, right? You see how it's popping out. We are going to do the same thing for usual. You apply it like this, right? You apply it like this, right? And increasing it to 100, just the way we did for praise. Now you can see what we have. This is very nice. This is very nice. So for now, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way for now. You see, let's put it this way for now and bring our percent also down a little bit. You can see what we have right now. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring our pictures in. We're going to bring our pictures in. We're going to bring our pictures in. So we're going to be arranging the pictures exactly the way we want it, right? We'll be arranging the pictures the way we want it. First of all, let's bring this man of God here, and then bring this woman of God, woman man of God here, right? And then bring this person here, reduce it a little bit. Reduce it a little bit. We'll be sending this to back because we want to arrange the pictures to look like they snapped it together in the studio. So we are going to take this back a little, let's say back 1. Okay, to repeat that, you press Ctrl R while clicking on it till it goes back of the first person's picture. So So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring this very man of God here and put the picture like this, right? So let's reduce this a little, reduce this a little, reduce it a little. So after we've arranged it like this, the next thing we are going to do is to bitmap them together before we apply any effect on it. We're going to bitmap them, bitmap them, we're going to bitmap them together by lighting all of them at once, then come to convert to bitmap, and you change it back to RGB color and press OK. So the next thing we are going to do right now is we are going to blend the edges to make sure that they look nice on the background. So we're going to start by blending this part. You can see what we are having now. We're going to blend this part, right? So after blending that part, we are going to bitmap it again. We are bitmapping it because if you don't bitmap it, this side, if you want to apply another transparency effect to the bottom, this side will be removed. Let's try it and see. If you bring it down like this, right, this side will be removed. This side, so you have to bitmap it first. You have to bitmap it first before you apply to another one. So we are going to bitmap it again now. I come in here and change it to RGB and bitmap. Then you are going to pick your transparency tool again and then bitmap this bottom. So you are doing this to blend the pictures, to the background. You see what we have now. Now that we've done that, we are also going to bitmap it again by coming to bitmap, convert to bitmap, and doing the same thing that we did. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to apply a little effect on the picture by pressing Control B on the keyboard, right? You can see the effect is automatically applied. So you are the one that will now see how you can adjust it to your taste. Adjust it to your taste. Let's see. You can bring this back. You see what we have there. Let's take it all back. We're going to adjust it to our taste. We're going to adjust it to our taste. Okay, I think this is too much. Okay. Okay. So let's leave it at something like this. Let's leave it at something like this. Okay, let's do like 14. Let's see. 14 and see. Now that we've done that, we can also adjust this if we want. But for this tutorial, we're not going to be adjusting it. We're just going to leave it like this, right? We're just going to leave it like this and press OK. So after the pictures have been adjusted, so we're going to move it up. We're going to move it up like this and increase it. We're going to move it up and increase it. You see what we have right now. See what we have. Let's crop this part a little. You see what we have here. So we're going to do this now, and you can see what we have. You can see what we have. You can see what we have right now. So the next thing we are going to do now to is to bring in our our text again. We're going to bring in the main stars name. Right, we are going to be placing their names on their body. We're going to be putting their name on their body. See what we have here. We're going to crop them apart. Right. And you're going to press Ctrl K on it to break all of them apart. This is Messi Shinwo. We're going to place it like this and we change it to uppercase. Then we do the same thing for Nathaniel Bassi. Change it to uppercase. We're going to also change this to uppercase. Same thing we are going to do for this guy right here. The same thing we're going to do. So after we've done that, we're now going to change the font to a bolder font, and then we're going to reduce it to like 8. Let's leave it at 8. So we're going to be placing the names on their body, like this. Steve and Oyekon. See what we have here. So we are going to taking it up a little bit. Right. So now that we've done that, the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in the theme of the event. To bring in the theme of the event. Next thing we are going to do is to bring in the theme of the event. We are going to also break this apart. And then also break it by pressing Ctrl K. We'll break all of them apart. If you follow me to this stage, please subscribe to this channel by pressing the subscription button below and turn on the notification button so that you get to be notified anytime we post tutorials on this page. So let's continue. Now we are going to bring this right here and stretch it a little, right? I want to stretch it a little. Let's also reduce it a little, right? And take this aside first and bring this right here. So we're going to increase it and change it to uppercase. Okay, let's also change this guy to let's also change this guy to let's also change this guy to uppercase. Right? Or we can leave it the way it was. And then let's change this font to like this guy, or let's look for a thicker font. Okay, we can use these questions, right? So the next thing we're going to do right now, draw a box on this guy right here by coming here and say and do it this way with our rectangular tool, and then you can increase the thickness to like 4, right? And you take it like 4, give it red, right? Give it red. Then the next thing you are going to do is you are going to convert the outline to object by coming to our object and say convert outline to object. In this, you can now change the color the way you want. But first of all, before we change the color, you are going to you are going to do something like this. You take your rectangular box again, then come here and draw it like this. Make sure it's at the center. Then you click on it and click on the red box again and say trim. Trim. See your trim up there. Then you remove it and then bring this guy down. You bring this guy down. Make sure it is at the center. Then for the father's voice, put it at the center also. Make sure it is at the center. Then we now have to apply a gradient color to this by coming here to our interactive fill tool and apply it like this. Then change this part to yellow. You can see what we're doing here. You can adjust it here to give it the feel that you want. Give it the feel that you want. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the same fill to this guy, but this time around is going to be a very small, like we did for unusual. So we're going to apply it like gray, okay, like this gray, right? And then we are going to apply shadow effects to it to make it also pop like we did to unusual. You can see what we have right now. You can see what we have. So we are going to break it. We'll click on it and press Ctrl K. You can see the shadow, but we are going to bitmap the shadow right now and say bitmap, convert to bitmap, and change it to RGB and press OK. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring in a circle and draw it this way, right? And bring it to the center of this guy. Give it a red, and then you increase it, and then you click on it and click on this box again and say trim. So after you've trimmed it, you now come back here and reduce this a little, then you change this to uppercase. Also you change the font to our usual font, then reduce it and bring it in here, so we are going to apply this same. Okay, let's leave it like this. This looks really nice. So the father's voice, we are done with this like this. Now we're going to bring it here. We're going to bring it here. You can see what we are having right now. You can see what we are having right now. You can see what we're having right now. Please, if you're following me, subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. Let's grow this channel together. So you see what we're having here. Now the next thing we are going to bring in now is to bring in these features and paste it here. Then we're going to break it by pressing Ctrl K. So the next thing we are going to do is to highlight all of them and change it to uppercase. Including this one, you change it to uppercase, right? So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring this guy here, reduce it, and then stretch it. Let's make it bold, and then we stretch it. Let's stretch it like this, right? Make sure it's centralized, and then we do the same thing to this guy. Let's reduce it a little. Let's bring it here. Let's also make sure it's bold. Let's make sure it's bold. So we are also going to remove the comma inside of this and change that to something else that looks good instead of the comma. So you're going to also make it bold and make sure it's centralized. Make sure it's centralized. So we are going to change it to yellow. You can see what we have here, right? You can see what we are having now. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to bring in date, the date of the event. We're going to bring the date in. We're going to bring the date in and say, let's remove these guys. We'll remove this time because we are going to be using icons. And then highlight it and change it to uppercase. Right? We change it to uppercase and we now use our normal fonts that we use. You can see it. Then we are going to reduce it to like 8. Right? Let's also take this to the front and give it enough space. Because we'll be using an icon to separate it. Now let's put it here like that, and then we increase it. And the next thing we are going to do is to bring in the icons that we're going to use. So since we are done using these pictures, we can delete them. They were duplicated before, so we delete them. Now we are going to use these icons now to separate the dates and time. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to come to bitmap, come to mode, and say black and white. Right? You make sure the edges are smooth. Then you click on OK. Then you come to trace bitmap, come to quick trace, outline trace, and say line art. You make sure it's smooth by adjusting here. Make sure everything is smooth. You now say group by color, and then you press OK. So after you press OK, you're going to bring it inside of the box of the workspace, and then you remove the whites. You delete this original, and then you change this guy to orange. And bring it here and bring it here. And then we are going to do the same thing for time. You come to bitmap, mode, black and white, OK, and you come to trace bitmap, outline trace, and then line art. So you make sure it's smooth, and then you click OK. You also, after clicking on it, so after you've done that, you now bring it to the workspace as well. Bring it to the workspace and remove the white. You also change it to yellow, and then reduce it and bring it right here. You bring it right here. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take away some spaces here. Right, so let's reduce it a little. You reduce this a little as well. Right, make sure it's centralized. So after that, you make sure everything is at the center. All you do is just adjust it to your taste, adjust it to what you like until your mind tells you this is nice. Like now, my mind is telling me this is nice. So the next thing we're going to do right now is bringing in the address. I'm going to copy the address. I'm going to bring in the address and paste it here. And then we are going to do, because we copy this, we downloaded this from a a stock or site. So the watermark is coming with it. So we are going to crop out the watermark, right, and bitmap it. Then come to bitmap mode, black and white, this, and then we do trace bitmap, outline, and line art. So click OK. You remove the whites, right? Then you bring it inside like this, and then you change the color to like white. So the next thing we are going to do right now is we're going to bring in a box, right? We're going to bring in a box that will contain the address. So let's bring the box like this. Let's do it like this, and give the box a red. Give the box a red. So the next thing we are going to do right now is we are going to blend the edges left and right. So let's do it for here first, and then we'll bitmap it. You remember what I told you? If you don't bitmap it and you apply that effect here, it will affect this one at the other side. Let's try it again. By the time you say here now, so the one here will disappear. So you have to bitmap it, and then apply to this place too. So that's the only way it gets to stay. You see what we have right now, right? Then we are now bringing it inside. We reduce it a little to like 10, right? And we are changing the font to our usual font, right? So let's reduce it a little and then bring in the icon and take it a little closer. Take it a little closer, and we make sure that it's centralized. You see what we have right now. So we are going to delete this, and delete this guy right here. So because we have everything right here, you see what we have. You follow me to this place, write something in the comment section, and also subscribe to this channel. So we are going to now bring this guy in here like this. We're going to use it here. We're going to bring this guy in here like this, and we'll click on it, then come to transparency 2, and then come to this merge mode and change it to hard light. You see what we have there. Then we are going to power click it inside. Power click inside. See what we have there. You know, see what we have here, right? So we are almost done like this. Let's add a little pepper and salt into it by bringing our light effect, our flare lens, right? We are going to locate that where it's saved. Let's bring these two in. Let's bring these two in and then in. So what we're going to do for this right now is we are going to blend the edges. We are going to blend the edges. You come to transparency to, then you blend this side. The way we usually do is you bitmap it, you come to this edge, you bitmap it, you come to this edge, you bitmap it as well. Then you also come to the last edge and make sure you bitmap it everywhere. Right? Then you now come to your transparency 2 again, and then come to merge mode and choose screen. See what we have there. See what we have there. You come to screen. You come to screen. So we are going to now, first of all, we duplicate it and take one here. We put one here. See what we have there. Then the next thing we are going to do now is to bring another one down here. You adjust it like this and then like this. Then you put it here. You put it here, adjust it very well, and you put it here, and then you bring this guy in here. You're going to also have to adjust the edges and bitmap it. Adjust this side too. Bitmap it again. Adjust this side. Bitmap it, and then adjust this side too, and bitmap it. So the next thing we are going to do now is to bring it down here, increase it, and then you come to your transparency to change it to screen, or let's see overlay. No, let's multiply. Soft slide. Okay, let's leave it at screen. Let's leave it at screen. See what we have here. That is the spirit. Now our flyer is cooked. You can see what we have here. You can see how beautiful this is. You can see how beautiful this is. So we are done. If you follow me to the end, write something in the comment section and subscribe to this channel. Then turn on the notification button so that you get to be notified anytime we post any tutorial on this channel.